But let's also get some updates from other top stories from across the country, most notably this one out of Philadelphia, a tragic shooting in which a 7-month-old was injured. We did get an update earlier today from police and investigators on the scene there. This happened earlier in the week, but the biggest news is that a suspect was identified and has formally been arrested. Let's take a look at the latest.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Dennis Rosenbaum from the Shooting Investigation Group. Our unit is responsible for handling non-fatal shootings in the city of Philadelphia. On the 18th at approximately 5:52 p.m., the 15th District in the northeast part of the city responded to 4000 block of Meridian Street, which is near the Holmesburg section. When they responded, they found evidence of a shooting out there, but did not have any victims at that time. A short time thereafter, police radio was notified and let them know that a 7-month-old victim had been transported to Nazareth Hospital, which is nearby. It is not one of our local trauma centers. 15th District officers immediately responded there and then took the baby to Frankfurt-Tarsdale Hospital up in the 8th District in the farther part of the northeast. The baby was in stable condition with a gunshot wound to the leg. The baby was then, once stabilized and cleared medically, was transferred to CHOP, whereas yesterday was still there in stable condition. The mother and father who had gone to the hospital initially had left that location. They were in fear of the police because they had some outstanding warrants. Approximately an hour later, when they got home, they walked home, they called the police, and the police went to the location where they were at, and they were subsequently brought down here for interviews. In the meantime, detectives had processed the scene out there, recovered 3 fired cartridge casings, 9mm. They also recovered a video. That video was released yesterday out on social media and our YouTube page. Yesterday morning also, detectives had gone out and followed up from the interviews, the information they gained from the parents, that they were up on Frankfurt Avenue, the 7900 block, and there was an argument. So we went to several locations on that stretch of Frankfurt Avenue from 7700 to 7900, recovered several business videos. We were able to get a better picture of the offender than what was released. That video was brought back here to be processed by our digital officers who recover video and put the packages together for evidence and dissemination. When they did that, several detectives had been working yesterday, along as myself, and one of the detectives from one of the other squads had recognized the female as being involved in another shooting where she was the victim in 2022, nearby on the 4200 block of Rawn in August of 22. At that time, the video had gone out on local media stations and social media accounts. We received a tip. That tip gave the name of the offender who was arrested last night. That also matched the name of the shooting victim that the detectives thought it was. So during the course of the evening last night, with the name in hand, detectives followed up with the witnesses, and they were shown photo arrays and positively identified the suspect. At that time, the Highway Patrol unit here in Philadelphia was asked to help out and help locate a vehicle that was also seen in the video that was known to be used by the suspect. That vehicle was located in the area 5900 Loretto last night, and Highway Patrol officers conducted a surveillance on that vehicle. Shortly thereafter, a female had gone to that vehicle to use it. She was stopped, and information was gained that the suspect was at a house on the 1300 block of Van Kirk. The suspect was asked to come out of the house, and she did, and surrendered to the highway patrol officers and was taken into custody without incident. She was brought down here. At that time, detectives secured a search warrant for that location, looked for any additional evidence, such as clothing and the weapon. Also, they had gained information that she had another address, also in the Northeast, nearby that location, 6100 block of Alma. They also got search warrants for that location. During the course of the investigation and search warrants, they recovered 1 extended magazine, and 11 live rounds of various different kinds of ammunition. The suspect has been formally charged by the DA's office with aggravated assault, 3 counts, possession of instrument of crime, recklessly endangering another person, and etc. So right now she's waiting a formal arraignment and bail. Her name is Dominique, Dominique Billups, Bill. Make sure I spell this right. UPS. She's 28 years old, and again, like she lives in the Northeast. So she is waiting for bail hearing and what the magistrate's going to do for that. Any questions?
How sad is that?
Very sad. That video is very disturbing. I know it's gotten a lot of views. It looks like it's going national. Some national networks have picked it up. Just the whole thing. And it looks like this all stems from a $100 narcotics debt, is what we're being told. So it's sad. I mean, you see in that video, she literally points the gun at the mother of the baby, who's also a juvenile, and fires. Luckily, she missed. I mean, obviously, that's probably when the baby got hit. 7-month-old baby might not remember that, but it's always going to be there. That story's always going to be out there. The neighbors that witnessed it were very upset. Obviously, the neighbors that came to the aid and took her to the hospital were very upset. So, it's an area that wasn't really known for violence over the years. But sometimes these things happen, and unfortunately, this one was caught on video. And with all the help of the public from the tip and the great video from the store owners and merchants along that stretch of Frankfurt Avenue, we were able to quickly resolve and have her in custody in a little over 24 hours.
So they knew each other from before this whole incident happened?
I think they knew of each other. There's a conversation and an argument, and then the mother leaves with the baby. The father of the baby joins her right before the shooting, and it turns out she was followed by the suspect to that location on Meridian Street, which is a couple blocks away from the 7900 block of Frankfurt. What's that?
Are you concerned about the parents being with the child since you separated the parents from the child?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know yesterday arrangements were being made, for the baby to be taken care of, to make sure our Department of Human Services is involved, and Children's Hospital is also involved. So I know that that baby's gonna be in good hands, and there's some other family members and stuff that are supporting the victim, who also got shot, the mother, and obviously the father in this case.
You said the parents had warrants out for them, and that's why they didn't want to cooperate initially?
I think they were just fearful that they were going to be, arrested for those warrants. So that's why they initially fled. But then by the time they had gotten back to the house, they immediately called and called and said, our baby got shot. And the officers went right to the scene and brought them down here. And, they were interviewed and everything else.
Wasn't anything serious that they were wanted for, or was it? Or?
It wasn't a violent crime.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Will those warrants be addressed?
They are being addressed. Yep, they're already being addressed. Yeah.
Both parents juvenile or just the mother?
Just the mother's juvenile, the father's an adult.
How's the baby doing?
The baby, from what I was told yesterday, is fine and was getting ready to be released yesterday.
Will there be any other consequences for the parents or legal?
There'll be an investigation, obviously, with Department of Human Services. Special Victims had reached out to me yesterday because Department of Human Services had reached out to them, to who's handling the investigation. So at some point, the Department of Human Services will, conduct a report and decide, we should pursue criminal charges. That's all usually done between DHS and Special Victims Unit. So
over $100 drug debt.
Yeah, that's what we're being told, $100 drug debt.
The video that you showed, that you released, shows her firing shots. It looks to me that she's just firing indiscriminately. Is that kind of what it was, or was
I think she fires 2 shots at the male.
Okay.
And then turns and fires the shot at the female.
Okay.
Who then, within a couple seconds, notices that the baby's struck. I know some of the videos have audio on them.
You hear the gunshots.
Yeah. So, and then, she left the location.
Did the suspect, is she cooperating? Did she tell you that it was over $100 drug debt, or is that what you got?
No. The suspect was processed and was, put in the system to be charged. So.
Okay, and then how much time, if convicted, is she looking at?
Well, there's 3 counts of aggravated assaults. It's a, felony in the first degree. Obviously, that could be some serious jail time. But that's all done through the the DA's office. And I'm sure with the video aiding in the investigation, that they'll work that out with, her attorneys and the judicial system.
Are there child endangerment possibilities for the parents?
I don't think they knew, that baby was going to get shot. I mean, obviously there's more investigation still going to have to go on, So, through that investigation, we'll find out if that ever comes to light, if that becomes an issue. But from what I know, from what I was told yesterday, it seems that the mother has a good support system and some family and stuff that was at the hospital yesterday. So
You were able to find this woman so fast because of the public help.
Yep.
Could you speak on how important it is to have that collaboration to make sure you can catch folks who commit this terrible crime?
Right. So as all of you know, from time to time, between us and the homicide unit, where we're all up there in that same office, we recover a lot of video. Video is a big part of our investigations. And when we get decent video, which this video, the second part of the video, didn't get released yesterday because we figured out who it was right away. But if we had put that video out yesterday, I'm sure we would have got flooded with calls. It was that good of a video. So it just shows how important it is for people to, get video. There was a time where video was very expensive. It's become pretty affordable now. And of course, with the programs we have here in the city and the city's program with its cameras, we get a good part of the city's now covered with cameras. So when we do get those good videos and we exhaust anything we can do to find somebody, we do put them out. As you'll see on our YouTube page, several videos a week go out. And believe it or not, we do get a lot of tips and a lot of help. And sometimes if you don't know if it's going to help or not, just call us, because sometimes you might be that one piece of the puzzle. And yesterday, that piece of the puzzle was coming in the same time that we were looking this person up, and it worked out.
Now, you say that Dominique Billups was a victim of a prior shooting on Wall Street, correct?
Yes, correct.
What's the status on that case?
So that case is still open. There was never an arrest in it. There was very, very little to go on. Basically, it sounds like, but from what she had stated to detectives that time, that she was walking in the street up Rowan Street, and a car had a verbal dispute with a car, and they came back and they shot her and fled. So there wasn't much to go on, and there was no real good video or anything that was recovered from that incident.
Nobody's been arrested in that, and she's okay from that, obviously.
Yes, yep.
What can you say, first of all? I mean, she shot a child. It sounded like you're a child, a piece of child. Shoot anybody is unacceptable, but to involve yourself.
Yeah. I mean, when you see the video, that some of it that before the shooting, like, you knew they had a stroller. You know what I mean? What we were talking about it yesterday, like, what makes you, walk up to somebody with a stroller and shoot them? It's sometimes the things we say are mind-boggling. We don't understand it, but people get so angry, and they always resort to guns. We just don't understand it. And, we deal with this almost every day. And this isn't the first child victim we've had. You know, we've been around for a little over more 2 years, and I know of at least a half dozen cases we've had where we had children like, you know, under 5. I mean, sometimes they're accidental, but, you know, it's sad. I mean, and it's just something, and it seems like it's become like an everyday occurrence, shootings, you know, across the country. But we're dealing with it, and we're trying to make a difference. And I think the last couple of years we have as a unit, and with the help from you guys and the public, with the videos is a huge part of our investigations. And we do get people arrested for a lot of these cases.
When will you have a mugshot of?
She's going through the process now, so I'm hoping by late afternoon. So Public Affairs said they will get it out to you guys once it's completed. I checked right before I left out. So Sergeant Grip said he will get it out to you as soon as it's done.
And you said she has 2 addresses in the Northeast.
Correct.
Was this bet just between those 3, or was she just happened to be the shooter and it's a bigger party that's involved?
I think it, from what we were told about the debt, I think our initial target was the father of the baby. And I think the mom just got wrapped up into it, you know, being there. So when that argument had started, it was asking where her boyfriend was. So obviously, you know, he was a part of that debt. So, you know, I don't think the mom had any idea that would have happened, you know, even with the stroller. So it's sad. And I feel bad for the neighbors that were out there and had to see that, and any, you know, kids that might have been out playing or anything like that. It's, you know, 5:50 in the afternoon in a busy, you know, heavily populated neighborhood.
The neighbors that found the child.
We're listening there to an update from investigators over in Philadelphia, the tragic shooting that occurred earlier this week in which a 7-month-old baby was injured.